I'm so excited to welcome our next two guests to the couch. He has been my friend, my music director for more than 2 decades, and you see him here on the show every day. She is an entertainment manager, also my friend, and his wife. Last year, they released their very first novel, Caretaker, under the shared pen name, Jason Halbert. It's the first in their Goodpasture Chronicles trilogy. It's so good. It instantly became an Amazon bestseller and earned numerous awards, including silver winner in the Bill Fisher Award for Best First Book by the Independent Book Publishers Association. Their second book is out today. It's called Servant. Let's welcome back my friends Rhonda and Jason Halbert. For the bum. Congrats. This is all awesome. I'm so excited about the second bit, but congrats on the first one.
Thank you.
It's so funny interviewing y'all every time. I'm like,
it's weird.
We're not at dinner. It's just weird. Okay. So congrats on the first book. So how did you feel when it went #1 right away? I remember when you were told, actually.
Oh my gosh, you guys surprised me.
Yeah.
It was so unexpected. I was just hanging out with Jason, waiting for him to finish up taping, I think, the second episode of the day. And then you guys surprised me in front of the audience that we actually went to #1, #2, and #3 instantly.
That's amazing.
It's really amazing because when you write something so personal and so deep for yourself, you really don't think about what other people are going to think.
Yeah.
For me, I was just compelled. I had to write. And then to
when they
see
respond,
it so,
it's validating.
Yeah, it was so well received. Like it was mind blowing. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you to the show.
Gosh,
The show did that.
Thank yourself. It's so good. I was like, he sent me the digital. I was like, no, I need the hard copy. I was like, I gotta have it tangible in my hands. But wait, you started the book in part to process trauma, but you faced very difficult news while the first book was being released. Tell everybody a bit about that.
Oh, so you're just jumping right in.
Just jumping right in, Jason.
Right
and we're gonna do it.
So, yeah, to be honest, this isn't a story I'm not excited. I wasn't excited to tell this, but we've had the benefit of sitting over there for 6 seasons now, and I've been inspired by other people's stories. So maybe a part of this would
help somebody.
Small piece would help somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell that beautiful lady there. I'm not looking at Kelly while I'm doing this. So
because we're not right.
we released this book in May of 2024, but the week we finished the book in January of 2024, I was diagnosed with cancer, and sucks.
No, that's okay.
It was another blow to the gut that we were not expecting, and we were already processing so much other trauma. Like, this is the last thing that you could expect to be thrown at you.
Yeah.
So we had to figure out, taking care of Jason, this book, what do we do? Like, everything felt like it was just all.
The news was at first.
Well, first the doctor said at the time, was like, hey, don't worry, if you're gonna get cancer, this is the one to get. And that's what the doctor said. He's like, hey, this is, do your surgery, one and done. This is the most common type you can get. So we did the surgery, did it right away. Wasn't ready to talk about it, but the staff was very supportive. Earl, our wardrobe person, helped me get dressed every day because I couldn't really walk, and gave me a lot of dignity. So anyway, we were sitting here. You were interviewing President Biden's press secretary at the time, and I got the call. So I left the show, went under the stage, and the doctor said, yeah, so it turns out it's a good cancer unless you get this one strain. If you get this one strain, chemo-resistant, and we want you to do this surgery. And if you do, you have a 50-50 chance of survival.
And the surgery
is medieval.
Insane.
Well, I couldn't even talk, like it's, medieval. We talked to people afterwards, and I wouldn't have played music again. That would have been the end of that.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about legacy, and I'm like, no, we're gonna get this book out. This is really important to us. This is really personal.
Yeah.
So we postponed that surgery they wanted to do that week, which Kelly was very excited about. She thought I was being an idiot at the time. It was not.
There's a lot of tears. Look, it hit all of us very hard. And I was like, what are you doing?
I'm like, no, we can wait. We're gonna push this back till June. Let's get the book out. Let's launch it. And thank God we did, because during that time, She went and researched some trial programs at another hospital here in New York at Cedars-Sinai. It bought us time to ultimately, we didn't end up doing that surgery, which is why I'm still able to play. And we released the book. So that's a long story just to say that the irony was that the first book we wrote out of trauma, and we sat here and looked at the audience and was like, hey, we've learned some things. Here's how you process trauma. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, now here's a chance to live out some of those things that you've been talking about. And so in a weird way, the first book was actually therapeutic back to me, and it helped me process my thoughts out on the second book. So I'm sure you have another question to ask now.
No. I want to get to this before we get to book 2, but tell everybody how you're doing today.
Doing really good today. I just had my, thanks to a lot of reasons, we took some alternate courses of treatment, and Kelly introduced me to red light therapy and oxygen treatments, and all my scans had been doing this, and since I started that, they've leveled out, and as of yesterday, it's stable. So.
We are back with my friends Rhonda and Jason Halbert, also known together as R.J. Halbert, the authors of the Goodpasture Chronicles Trilogy. Their latest book, Servant, is out today. So tell us a little about the trilogy and where we find the characters in Servant.
Yeah, in general, the trilogy follows a family of 4, and they move from Boston to this small town in Littleton, New Hampshire, and they move into their dream home, and this home has been waiting for them. The home, strange things are afoot, and we're not sure if the house is trying to kill them or save them. Book 2 picks up literally 5 seconds after book 1 ended, and the son, Zach, is missing now. The father, Ian, has, at the end of the last book, has literally just seen 2 of these strange supernatural things happen. He's seen his wife saved by some weird rewiring of the house that makes no sense. And he's seen his son survive this horrific attack. And so you would think he would walk into the situation with, like, I'm gonna do things differently this time. We kind of model the character a little bit differently because somebody else I know who has seen miracles in life just hit this thing. Ian, the character, spirals. He, turns to drinking. He's not making good decisions, even though he knows the truth. So that's where we start the book, and fun things happen. The family's falling apart, and we're going throughout time. It's hard. It's hard to not spoil
Can we talk about the 2 sentences? Fun things are happening. The family's falling apart.
You make the best out of what you got to work with.
I love the dark humor. Oh my God. So wait, like the first book, Rhonda and Jason incorporated music in Servant, and there are even links to the songs in the digital versions, which is so cool. So we kicked off the show with one of the songs, Celine Dion's All By Myself. So how did you choose the songs? Like, why?
There's moments that just naturally called for what felt like memories for me and Jason. So as we tried to develop the book, we tried not to tell our exact story, but I can only write from what I know. So moments would happen in the book where I'd go, oh, that reminds me of, and then, a song is always related to most of our memories. So it was really easy to be able to put in, oh, I remember that. Ooh, that song would work really good here. And so, unless you know me or Jason, you may not have that same attachment to it. But that's where those songs come from.
I think it was exciting for us because, well, we didn't know that when you write a book, it's rare to have lyrics in it. And the first thing we turned it in, and people are like, oh, no, you can't do that. It's kind of like when we want to cover a song on TV. They're like, oh, different rules. And I'm like, oh, no, I know licensing people. I think we can do this. So we reached out, to publishing companies, and like for Caretaker, we went straight. I mean, we tried to license it, and we went straight to the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, and the person who read it was like, yeah, do it. So we're just excited we actually have music in the book because it's actually pretty rare.
And it's so essential in everyone's lives, right? Like, I mean, even if people aren't musicians, like, people love music, and it's tied to memories and nostalgia, and it's like smells, right? And while writing the second book, Jason and Rhonda were also rebuilding their home. Here's footage Rhonda posted during the process.
Hey, today's the day. Taking down this beautiful piece of history. Oh, so sad. But it's gotta come down. Lots of good memories here. Lots of good stories. Lots of good friends. It's the end of an era. But it's the beginning of a new one. Great memories. All right. It's coming down.
Oh, man. That's
that's the part of the process that inspired Caretaker, because as we were losing our family home and rebuilding another, that set the basis for the storyline of where we're going. So it was kind of cool and sad. It was cool to have that finally finished and tore down because it couldn't be saved.
Yeah.
But we found out so much in the midst of that actually the foundation of the home was rotted. It never would have survived, as our dream home. So it's sometimes these horrible things in life actually turn out to be so much better because we're able to do it again right. We're able to save the historic pieces of it, but put it on a right foundation for our strength.
The metaphors?
Yeah. I know.
Right? It writes itself.
Like just knowing you and all of your life, it's just the metaphors are insane.
Anyway, it is a fun book. Go buy it.
It is. The families are falling apart. Are there any hints though you can share about the final book? Because that's what I remember right when I finished the first book, I was like, what happens in the second book, Jason? I was so mad because I wanted to know right where it picked up. So are there any hints you can give us?
Well, yes. So the third book is called Architect.
God, you're so cool. You two are so cool.
So
Caretaker, servant, architect. Okay, it's
so
tying in.
clearly I've been living and building a new house while Jason's been here working.
Yeah.
And so that really has inspired the title for book 3. And it plays into, so in book 1, our main mysterious character is Marshall.
Yeah.
Marshall plays a huge part in the continuation of the mystery of book 2.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to read the end of book 2. I want to know what you have to say.
Yeah, I do. And the tangible copy in my hand. My kids are not about to be with me, and I'm like dying for it. So yes.
Book 3, I think, is where you're going to go, no!
Oh, man.
So it's in a great way. It's going to end quite beautifully. And what writing book 3 is doing, which we're writing right now, and building our home has brought a whole new level of understanding what out of the ashes means. And we've taken something that had to be completely destroyed and build something better out of those ashes. Mm-hmm. And that's what the ending of this trilogy is going to reflect on, is making something beautiful out of ashes.
Yeah, well, if I've ever seen a couple that's a freaking phoenix, it's y'all. There's so much that it just I don't know, it could destroy people, And it might come close, but it's like, I've never seen a couple more resilient. I've never seen people fight so hard for hope,
Yes.
And it's, y'all are incredible at that. Because you got friends on the sideline going, I don't know.
Well, we've actually changed. Like I said, we had it planned out. This journey for me and us has changed the process of book 3, and it's some of the conversations we've had and we watched on this couch.
Yeah.
We've actually reworked the endings because, my journey's not over. We're not done with this yet.
Yeah.
But as we were writing book 3's Architect, all of a sudden it clicked on us. We're writing the ending we want to see. There's things that we want to work out.
Project what you.
And so we're putting in the book, and we're like, this is for this family and for us. We're
they deserve this.
the never-ending story. We're rewriting it.
Yeah. Servant is available today wherever books are sold. Get yourself a copy if you're smart.